Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl G, and we are back with some Am I the A-hole family drama.
Yeah, boy.
Am I the a-hole for not telling my sister the name chosen for my unborn son because she used her BFF's baby name for her daughter?
What the hell?
Like, is it adding the name her best friend wanted to use to her kid, or the best friend already used the name, or like, I need to know.
Absolutely.
My sister and I are both pregnant. Oh, this is her second child and my first. We're both having boys. When my sister had her daughter 3 years ago, her BFF was pregnant at the same time. My sister complained for 8 months that they didn't have any idea what to name my niece, and then all of a sudden she had a name right before she gave birth. Oh, I don't want to know that she gave birth before her friend.
Okay.
After my niece was born and her name was announced, my sister and her BFF started fighting.
Nani?
The BFF said that was the name she had chosen for her baby girl, and my sister used the same first and middle name for my niece, and she couldn't believe she would do that. My sister said it's first come first serve, and she needed a name badly, that her BFF had time to find another name. Oh my gosh. Like, actually she had, like, that's her explanation for this.
Absolutely.
Now, my sister is due before me, a few weeks before, and with that in mind, I don't want her to, oh God, she's keeping receipts 3 years later, and she's like, nah, I remember what you did 3 years ago, sorry. My sister is due before me a few weeks before, and with that in mind, I don't want her to do the same thing to me. I mean, she can slap her best friend in the back, she can do the same to you. And she has asked, nobody knows we're having a boy except me and my husband, and we plan to keep it that way. But my sister has asked what our boy name is, and as an afterthought, she asked for our girl name too when she realized I knew what she was getting at. Oh, so she's spitting out like, what's your boy name if you're having a boy? And she's like, okay, they'll probably figure it out. And she's like, oh, and a girl too if you're having a girl, when she's just trying to find a name for her kid.
Exactly.
Now, I refused to tell her. She tried to whine about name sharing being the fun part of pregnancy. I made up a couple of names on the spot to tell her, and she saw through it. She told me to just tell her the name, and I said no again. She asked a few more times. She even asked in front of her family, like expecting family pressure to make you say the name. It was our brother who joked that nobody should tell the baby named Thief the name they've chosen. Exactly. It wasn't a joke, and he wasn't lying. My sister got upset and asked if that's why I wouldn't tell her. She told me I was holding something against her that she never did to me. Well, not yet. Mom asked why I couldn't just share the name, and everyone would know my husband and I choose it first if my sister used it, but I still said no. What are you talking about?
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Like, it's going to be their kid's name. I don't understand how her mom is like practically supporting the sister's like insane behavior. So yeah, the verdict is you're not an a-hole, and well, your family is a little crazy.
Absolutely.
So am I the a-hole for not tipping a waitress on a 300 plus tab?
I don't know. I just got here.
The other day, my friend's girlfriend broke up with him, so the boys and I decided to take him to a club to cheer him up. I was the last to arrive, and they had already gotten a table and were all drinking alcohol. When the waitress came up to me and asked what I wanted to drink, I couldn't have alcohol because of the medicine I'm on. So I ordered a Sprite. She gave me an awkward smile and said, okay, like, it's a judgment in her eyes and her reaction for me. 10 minutes went by and I still didn't receive my Sprite. Bruh. However, she came back and asked my friends at the same table if they wanted another round. They all said yes, and then they ordered shots as well. I reminded her about my Sprite and she nodded and left. She then brought all the alcohol and shots back out for my friends, but still no Sprite.
Come on now, dawg.
About 10 to 20 minutes later, she returned and asked how we were doing. Excuse you? Everyone said they were fine. And wait, my problem is if we're all good, but like we're good on this table and a friend is not drinking, like 10-20 minutes goes by and someone's on the table and it's not drinking, how is that okay?
I don't know. I just got here.
Everyone said they were fine, and I said I still hadn't gotten my Sprite yet. She nodded again, like, okay, it's okay, she's at work. they're busy. There's many other people, but like she seems to have enough time to be serving those drinking the alcohol, which obviously I'm thinking at a club it pays a lot more. Now, she nodded again, but didn't even walk back to the bar. Instead, she started talking to another girl. After waiting an additional 10 or so minutes, I decided to go to the bar myself and get a Sprite and a water. I paid the bartender, left a tip, and went back to the table. We hung out for another few hours, my friends drinking a lot of alcohol and eating some hors d'oeuvres.
Nice.
When we were ready to leave, she brought another. Oh, she didn't even come back with a Sprite to like apologize. Oh my god, it keeps going. When we were ready to leave, she brought our check and gave me one of the. Oh my god! She brought our checks and gave me the one for the Sprite that she never brought. I told her, "You never gave me the Sprite. I got it from the bar." She responded, "Oh, the bar transferred it to me," and I replied, "No, I paid I paid the bar." She said okay and took the check away. I don't know why I was so upset about the Sprite. Maybe because it took like 30 minutes and you were practically ignored while like right in front of your friends. It was just rude. Like horrible customer service, period. It's just a Sprite, but my friends were also upset that I was being treated that way. So they all paid their tabs, left no tip, and wrote on the checks, "You should have brought my friend a Sprite." I think it's messed up not to leave tips, and I would have told them not to do that if they had let me know in advance, because people rely on that money for their livelihoods. But I also don't like being discriminated against because I can't drink alcohol due to any medications. Like, forget about medications. She's in the business of customer service, and that was zero customer service. So she kind of earned it. I'm okay with that. I'm not mad at all.
Absolutely.
Do you think we're being a-holes for not leaving a tip? Probably not, but let's see what the comment says. I've worked as a bartender, waitress, and a barista. This kind of behavior doesn't just deserve a no tip, it also deserves a call to the bar owner to let them know why the waitress didn't get a tip. Like, I like the fact that they had a little like sweet petty note left at the back, like, well, you should have brought him the Sprite. Actually, when I started reading this, I thought he was the one like responsible for the tab and decided not to leave a tip. That would have been like the highest level of petty at this point. Like, pay the money to her and be like, no tip, since like I didn't get like good customer service. No thank you. But I'll take this as long as it's some pettiness. A win is a win in this case. So, am I the a-hole for expecting full payment when the baby falls asleep while babysitting? In my mind, babysitting means come be a human or an adult human old enough to watch our baby while we go do something else with our time. That time spent there is supposed to be paid for fully, even if the baby was like, I don't know, crying throughout, or I don't know,
Okay.
in a coma. They're supposed to pay fully. But let's see what happened here. I, 19 female, babysit occasionally for a couple in my neighborhood. They're nice and the kid is sweet. It's usually an easy gig. Last weekend, they asked if I could watch their 2-year-old from 6 to 10 p.m. while they went to dinner with friends. I agreed on the usual rate and showed up at 6. By 6:20, the baby was already passed out in my arms, like in your arms. Who put the baby to sleep? You?
Exactly.
After a bottle and a quick cuddle.
Aww.
I laid her in her crib and didn't hear a peep the rest of the night. Literally just sat on their couch scrolling my phone for almost 4 hours. Checked the baby's monitor a few times and that was it. They came home around 9:45 and were surprised the baby had slept almost the whole time. Why? Okay, I'm trying to be rational here. If it's 6 something, they probably should have left instructions like, don't let her sleep until, because it's a 2-year-old, I'm thinking maybe she's not yet used to sleeping throughout the night, and I'm starting to think like the parents would have in mind that the kid might wake up at, I don't know, 2 a.m. because she has had all of this time of sleeping from 6 to 10 when 10 should be her bedtime.
Makes sense.
So they should probably be like, wake her up if she falls asleep, try to keep her engaged, or I don't know, put a cartoon for her to watch. I'm not sure. But they should have left rules that don't let her sleep before 10 p.m. or don't let her sleep before 9, or 9 o'clock is her bedtime. Don't let her sleep before then. But to be upset that the outcome is the baby has slept throughout, it doesn't make much sense to me.
Absolutely.
The husband half jokingly said, dang, maybe we should just pay you for 20 minutes of work. And the wife laughed. I laughed too at first, thinking it was just a joke. But then they handed me cash for 1 hour and said, honestly, we feel weird paying full price when you didn't really do anything. Yeah, we're gonna have a problem with that. Like, we would have that's not a conversation we had before me coming to be there. She could have been at the party, she would have been studying, she could have been hanging out with friends, but she was in your house responsible for your kid for that amount of time. So no, I don't think that's okay. Now, I told them I still came over, they still had their night out, and part of babysitting is just being there in case the baby wakes up. They didn't budge and said they'll make it up to me next time, but I left feeling kind of taken advantage of. I didn't argue for that because I didn't want to cause a scene. When I vented to my sister, she said they were being cheap and I was totally right to expect full payment. Am I there for expecting full payment even though the baby was asleep almost the whole time? I've already told you guys my stance. I would really like to know what other people think, because I think she deserves the full amount. It was her time that was spent there. So the top comment said, you spent 4 hours with the baby, so they still need to pay you full. You should demand the rest of the money. That's just crazy. Like, the fact that we're expecting her to just like bow and be like, you know what, it's okay. I don't know. I feel like she's just being oppressed at this point. That's like some sort of oppression. Leaving a baby alone is literally illegal. One should be paid for their time monitoring the baby, asleep or awake. Exactly. So I could see where the parents might be coming from, worried that the baby has been sleeping like all evening. They might wake up late at night and they might have work in the morning, but still have to stay with the child. So I can get that. But if explicit instructions were not left out, I expect that she should be paid in full. I'd like to know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.